Hello, welcome back to Richmond. I'm Chris. We have some more developments on the layout to show you. We have been for another field trip up to Richmond, mainly to take photographs of the scenery and how the railway fits in it, and also to try and get some photographs to make a back scene with. So, let me show you what I've been doing. I have noticed that a lot of you haven't subscribed to my channel. I would really appreciate it if you do. Click on that little red watermark in the bottom right corner of your screen, and also click on the bell icon to get your notifications when I've uploaded a new video. So the first thing I want to show you is the back scene here. I've had several attempts at making back scenes over the last week or so. I've had 2 field trips up to Richmond to take some photos and have a look around. The first lot of panoramas I made for the back scene didn't really work out. I also had a play with some images from Google Street View, which also didn't really work, but they gave me a general idea of what I wanted. So what I've done here, I've stitched together a couple of panoramas, and then sort of halfway around I've stuck on an outline of the station master's house. Now the station master's house is a little bit on the at a scale side, which isn't a problem because it's only sellotaped on, and this isn't the final back scene. I've just made this up from several sheets of A4 that I've printed off, and they've come up quite well. I've used a piece of software called Affinity Photo, which is a lot cheaper than Photoshop with all of the functionality. Now, just here is the station bridge, which is called Mercury Bridge now. I've got nearly a foot there with no back scene, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch on a piece of photograph that I've taken and then cover the rest up with trees and foliage. Now in that corner, that's the left hand side, that would continue onwards. There would be a road up disappearing up the hill towards Catterick. I'm going to try and hide that with trees, and there'll be a bus depot just there along the side there, and then going off towards the left there'll be Sky back scene or a Hills and Dales back scene from ID back scenes, just to sort of make it look a bit more realistic. And then over there is the scenery, so let's take you over there and show you what I've been doing. So this just here is the hillside just to the south of the Richmond station site. So if we just start over on the right hand side, you've got the railway cottages there and the signal box, and pretty much immediately behind the signal box the land rose a fair bit, as you can see there. And then on top of that, on this flat piece here, is the ruins of St Martin's Priory, and then behind that is a series of farm buildings. Now I'm going to attempt to scratch build what's left of the Priory. It's just a few ruined sort of ashlar and rubble walls, but I'll make some kind of representation of it. It shouldn't be too difficult just to do something in low relief. Going back to the railway cottages, I may have mentioned in previous videos that they are Metcalfe workers' cottages. On the real Richmond there is a row of 6 cottages there, which kind of looks similar to the Metcalfe cottages, but not quite. Now I've taken many photographs of the cottages in my field trips to Richmond, and I've got many more images that I've found either on the internet or have had sent to me. Sadly I've got no images of the back of the cottages because they're not very accessible. I did take a couple from an angle yesterday, which may help my scratch builder. So by the way, I'm having them scratch built by the same person that built my signal box and my loco shed, and the same person is also building my goods shed at present. So they will sit at an angle like that. Like I say, there's 6 of them. There'll be fences and gardens at the front. Now moving around here, this piece of land here is like a bit of a bulwark there. It's just rounded off in a sort of 90-degree sort of angle, which is the same as the real hillside there. And then it backs off. So behind Class 101 there, if we just move that out of the way, and I can show you what I'm talking about. So the holes in the baseboard there for points and the old position of the turntable will be filled in. I've covered everything in card. So basically the land dipped this side of the railway just a little bit, but unfortunately my baseboards are made that I can't really model a dip in the ground. So we'll use a bit of modeller's license and it will just be sort of green field and then rising up. Up there along the Backscene will be a few semi-detached houses which are on Rimington Avenue and then the road up to Catterick. I've got some photos those I took from Google Maps, which look alright. I tried taking some photos from the railway, but there's a lot of foliage in the way. I don't think I can use the images, but I may be able to clean them up a little bit. But anyway, then the land sort of, there's not enough room for it to curve round, so it's just going to be in relief, and then there'll be some, just over here will be some more hills and dales back, so just show the hillside off in the distance, and probably a fair bit of foliage. And unfortunately, I was having this conversation with a friend earlier, unfortunately I can't model the land dropping off sharply here towards the River Swale, because the baseboards are already built. It's going to be a lot of work to doctor the baseboards to accommodate that. So I can sort of represent it. I mean, I can peel this cork up, sort of not far off the edge, and represent a smoothing off, dropping down. But we get around to here, I can't, because that's, you know, solid wood sort of baseboard. So it'll be representation of Richmond, not a copy of the real thing. The main reason is I built these baseboards for a different project, and before I was offered the beautiful Richmond Station model, I was going to build Chesterfield Marketplace, and that sort of fell through, and then I was offered this, and I couldn't really say no to it, could I? So I was talking to Michael from Chandwell, as we have been doing recently. We've been sharing ideas and giving each other hints and tips, and we came to the conclusion that it wasn't really worth hacking my baseboards up. It's fairly major surgery, so we're going to stay as they are, and we'll try and sort of compensate for that with trees and bushes and other things, just to, you know, give the impression that the land is dropping away towards the river. So the next steps here, this is pretty much complete. We just need those two sort of layers there gluing down, and then we can start applying plaster bandage. Now, I did buy some plaster bandage a few days ago. I've no idea where I put it. It'll turn up, I'm sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply plaster bandage over the top of the polystyrene, and then when that's dried and set and hard, we're going to paint it brown. So I'm going to have a trip to Wilko tomorrow and pick up some brown earth coloured sort of tester pots, you know, the little £1.50 ones, or we'll pick up a small tin of earth colour, depending on how much it is. And then after that we can try and add some scatter and see how it turns out. So thank you for watching this short update. As always, if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed, please press that subscribe button and your bell icon for the notifications. And thank you so much for your time watching.